morning and welcome to another morning routine. Okay, so yesterday I explained on my Instagram, I got a big bill last night or yesterday during the day. It was our property tax bill. And I was expecting it to increase, yes, maybe by a couple $100, maybe as even as $500. So I still expected, right now in my budget, you can see that I save $600 a month for my property taxes. And that was just assuming that it increased by maybe $100 to $500. And so I had enough to cover that. Now, usually property taxes, you get one bill at the beginning of, or around this time in March, and you have two due dates. It's split into two bills. You can pay the first half by April 30th and then the last half in October. Now, usually what I do is I pay it all right now. You have that option to pay it all the moment you get it. And that way you don't have to worry about remembering to pay it in October. This is why I usually pay it all right now. However, because I'm short, now my bill was $10,830. And in my property tax savings account, I have $8,400. So I was short. And I was going to use I have a house maintenance sinking fund, which you can see here. House maintenance, I do $50 to $100 a month for that. I had about $4,000 in there, so I had enough to cover it all. But I'm like, why use that money when technically I have until October to pay the second half? So that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you go to my checking account expense tracker, I had a couple of different things. We had Peloton come out. But you can also see, here's my first half that's due, $54.20. It's due by April 30th. I'm sending in the check in the mail. So I moved from my property tax sinking fund, which I had the full half ready, $54.20. And then when it comes in October, I'll have the other half. It just means I need to increase now for my savings per month to make sure that I'm ready now for next year. Here's what that looks like. Okay, so that is a deposit into my life. It increased my ending balance here in my checking account. And then once that bill clears, I'll write it down as an expense. Now, if the bill doesn't clear in March, remember, we have to roll over, right? When we go into April and we start our checking account, our starting balance here is going to be what's in our checking account, even if it's high, because I have that money sitting there, and then we'll track the expense if it comes out in April on my expense tracker. Okay, so let's look at my budget for April. Now, because I had April already finished, my April budget, here's how I'm going to tackle it. Now, yesterday, if you saw my Instagram, I ended up canceling our house cleaning service. They come every Friday. Please head to my stories before it disappears if you are interested in my thought process on that. So my cleaning right here, you can see $300 a month on the first. Okay, so that's no longer. So in order to be fully prepared financially for that bill in 2026, I need to increase my property tax savings from $600 to $900. That is a drastic change to anyone's budget, to increase a bill by $300, which means if you are increasing spending in one area of your budget, you need to decrease spending in another area to compensate for it, right? So I decided to cancel our house cleaning service. I am now back to cleaning my house. So I'm just going to white this out, and it's totally okay for you to white out. Now, because we got rid of this bill, my ending balances are going to change here. My totals down at the bottom, and here, and here, and I'll do the math later. All right, and here. Okay, now the leftover is still going to be zero because I'm essentially taking it away from one place and putting it in another place in my budget. So instead of $600 a month property taxes, it's now $900. And I need to do this going forward for all of my budgets. Now, here's the thing. If you look at house-related expenses, okay, we have property taxes for $900. I have house maintenance for $50. I have house insurance for $366. So that right there is about $1,300 a month. That is like getting close to a mortgage payment, even though I own my house outright. And I'm going to be talking more about property taxes. I think it's the biggest freaking scam of all time. And maybe I'm saying that out of anger because I got that bill and it was just a huge surprise, and I'm super frustrated with it. But I'm probably going to spew my hatred anyways on my Instagram, go on a little rant. But that's how I'm taking care of it. And that's how I'm going to be taking care of it going forward. Now, I haven't completed, I have, May. So May I haven't done. So I can go ahead and make that change there. Now, I said that I wanted to start working on prepping budgets. Now, for May, I haven't written down all my bills and all that, but I did get one thing done. I prepped June. So for June, when I say prep, because our calendars are fully blank, I write in the month, I write in the days across the calendar. Now, the great thing about this being undated, I get people ask me, can you please date this thing? The reason we keep them undated is because the whole point of this journey is I give you the foundation, a very strong financial foundation. You do the building on top of that. You are the one customizing that plan. And I want you to be able to customize your budget by paycheck workbook to your heart's content. I want it to be able to truly work for you, which is why we leave everything undated. You might be a Monday starter, right? There's some people who start their calendars and their weeks on Monday. There are some people who start on Sundays. There are some people like teachers who want a new planner for the school year, which is why we leave our tabs and months undated here on the side. You add the stickers to your own tabs. So I add in the date. Now I'm a Sunday start date type of person. I add in my numbers and I add in my little doodles. Now, this year, I decided a while ago to prep most of my, usually I use stickers and I still kind of do, but to save some money rather than going out and buying all these seasonal stickers, I decided to get creative and start doodling. So all of these things that you're seeing are doodles. This is me just drawing and coloring and being creative with my budget calendar, which makes the process a little bit fun. Creativity in anything I do is what makes that process fun for me. Now I just have to start in prep July, and I'm just going to keep on going, right? I'm not necessarily adding anything to the calendar, but I'm prepping it and getting it ready to go. So that's all I have. Is really a big, big change for me was the property taxes. And I just posted a picture over on my Instagram going over how my property taxes have progressed over since I've owned the home in 2020. It's just mind-boggling. Anyways, that is my Monday morning routine.